and everybody will gather together and eat really delicious food and have a great time. Hi, I'm Edie. Today I'll show you how to make Chinese dumplings, 饺子. So in Chinese homes, dumplings are a traditional must-have food on New Year's Eve. Families wrap them up and eat them as the clock strikes at midnight. The finished dumpling dough texture should be soft but not too wet. Resting the dough can make the dough feels really smooth and soft, so it makes the kneading process easier later. I think adding ground Sichuan pepper is a secret ingredient I've learned from my mom making dumplings. If you taste it by itself, it gives you a little numbing on the tongue. However, when you put it in the stuffing, it will give you depth and flavor. My personal twist to the recipe is adding shrimp to it. Adding shrimps to the recipe provides you a more refreshing flavor, and I hope other people can enjoy it as well. I remember when I was a kid, on Chinese New Year Eve, my entire family, a full house of people, they will stand together and make the dumplings, and my mom will always save the extra dough for me and my little cousin. We will just play with it for the night. Shaping the dough into a donut shape helps you to get an even rope out of the dough. So later when you portion it, you can get a nice, even, smaller portions out of it as well. So I think that's a cool tip from my mom. When you're portioning dough, that's also another trick I learned from just watching how my family does it. The turning technique will help you get a nearly more perfect ball when you try to ball it up later. Eating dumplings reminds me of making it with my parents and my extended family on all different occasions. It could be a weekend dinner or Chinese New Year. Since now I'm away from home, I live abroad. Whenever I eat dumplings, I think about my family members and how they're doing. A younger me, before I left home, I wasn't super into dumplings at all. But when I moved away from home, when I was in Chicago, living with my roommate, we would make dumplings sometimes because it makes me feel homey and it's a remedy for homesick.
It's always been about family and food. Hi, I'm Holly, and today I'll be showing you how to make jingyu, or a whole steamed fish. So this fish is just traditionally served during Chinese New Year dinner. It represents a good year from start to finish, and in this case, head to tail. Yu is also sounds like prosperity in Chinese, so that's why we eat it. So this recipe is very important to me because I've been eating it basically all throughout my life. My grandma or my mom would cook it for dinner almost every day of the week, at least 3 to 4 times a week, and it just reminds me of my childhood. So the flavor is just a good balance of salty and savory and just that umami flavor that a lot of Asian dishes have. For a majority of China, they would eat it similar way. Today we use red snapper, but you can totally use tilapia or sea bass. My mom usually uses live whole fish. So a good trick to know when the fish is done is to poke the thickest part of the fish. That's where you'll know you can test it to see if it's cooked all the way through or if you need a little bit more time for it to cook. What I'm most proud of having both cultures is definitely the food and the variety of dishes that I'm able to try ever since I was young. I love my hamburgers and pizza, but having different cultures in my background is it's amazing in itself. Chinese New Year is just a celebration of the start of a new year in the Chinese calendar. Similar to American New Year, it's just a nice way to refresh the year. I've been celebrating Lunar New Year since I was young. How we celebrate it is eating a large family dinner with my uncles and my aunts and my parents and my grandparents, just everyone gathering around the table.
Oh, yes!
新年快乐！
祝大家春节快乐！
新年快乐！